Will Pope Francis retire or resign? What y'all think?
The Vatican has revealed that Pope Francis's condition has stabilised, although he remains critical. The 88-year-old has called for all cardinals to gather for an official assembly, fuelling speculation that he might resign.
The power of prayer being harnessed by thousands in St. Peter's Square. The faithful gathered for a second night in a row for Pope Francis. The pontiff still critical, but the Vatican says he has stabilised. There have been no further respiratory crises, but doctors still keep their prognosis guarded.
It's good news for everybody because here there is a lot of people who pray together.
The Vatican also revealing the 88-year-old is continuing to work in hospital, making Vatican government changes and new appointments to report to the first female Vatican president. Also meeting with second in charge Cardinal Pietro Parolin and the Vatican's chief of staff to discuss the approval of 5 new sainthoods. Pope Francis has also called a consistory, a formal gathering of all the cardinals, to decide when the new saints will be canonised. But some, including some priests here in Rome, wonder if there could be more to it than that. Pope Francis's predecessor, Pope Benedict, resigned at such a gathering, the first in almost 600 years to do so. It'll be important to know the date, which hasn't been said, and if you'll also...
Yeah, that's probably 600 years. Usually they just die, and then like Pope is dead, and they assemble. I watched that movie where it's like the investigation, the Pope die, and they gather in the like conclave thing, and then they like gotta sit there and they gotta blow the smoke. I was watching that movie just the other day. It's crazy. But yeah, usually a man with so much power would probably just die. So it takes a lot of strength to resign and go out like a G. It takes effort and it takes humility, and I like it. I like it.
Also be giving other news, priest and journalist Filippo Di Giacomo says, who also believes the pontiff may be receiving encouragement by cardinals to do so. In Rome, Edward Godfrey, 9 News.
Edward Godfrey joins us now from Rome. And Ed, what happens if Pope Francis was to resign?
Well, Georgie, if he were to resign, it would prompt a conclave, a private gathering of the cardinals at the Vatican to try and reach a 2/3 majority vote on a new pope. Talk of a resignation has come partly from Pope Francis himself in the past, saying he would consider doing so one day. For now, though, Georgie, he is at the Gemelli Hospital fighting to get better, 13 days after he was admitted.
Yeah, that's crazy. By the time you become Pope and work that long, they become Pope. They already close to 80 by the time they become Pope with the next one. So even if he like does get better, hopefully he gets better. Wishing you well, Pope Francis. You get better, and then he could go another 3, 4, 5 years. Remember, it's to death. Like to be Pope is for life, right? So he could sit there and wait it out. But then by the time he do that, a Pope that was 75 and could have took over a little early is now in their 80s, and now they get the same problem. So him resigning early and go and spend the rest of his life out in the public and like without so much on his back and so much stress. Can you imagine the stress of the Pope? It's probably greater than the president. People coming to you with the sick, the poor, the helpless. They expect more from you than even the president of the United States. Like you're next to God, right? Some people respect the Pope way more than the president. So I don't know, but hopefully he gets better. I'm not Catholic, so if you are Catholic, let me know what you think. Should he resign? Should he not? If he does, I think that'll send a good message, and he'll, he's an old man. He lived his life. Let him make his last few changes, and then get out of there. Enjoy the rest of your life. You know what I mean? We got one life to live. Don't do it with so much stress, But he did work his whole life probably to get this position as a cardinal and coming up. I mean, you're working for God, but every cardinal, I'm sure, would be pleased to be the Pope, right? The highest thing that you can achieve on this earthly realm to them probably. So, I don't know. I like it. I didn't know the other one before that resigned, but he did, and you see how happy he was. He was in bye, you motherfucker. See y'all later. I ain't doing this no more. I like that. I like to see it. And that was the first time in 600 years, so maybe they could keep it going. Let me know what you think.